Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Echo Underground Podcast. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about movies, TV shows, and music. And today's episode is about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So, Michael, did you like the movie?
Yes, I like the movie. I don't know if anyone who listens to this podcast has figured it out, but I am absolutely pro Marvel. And Marvel did good in this movie. Marvel, I don't know. Marvel hasn't done a shitty job in a while, and this is proof of it. Like, you had a good cast here, and a long story, but a good one nonetheless.
What would you give it out of 10?
I would give it 5 Star-Lords out of 5.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I'll give it 6 Infinity Stones out of 6. That's my
basically
score.
A perfect 10. Anyway,
no, I'm giving it 6 Infinity Stones out of 6.
Nerd.
What did you give the movie, Shanique?
I'm gonna give this movie about a 7. I didn't hate the movie, and I realized I didn't find the humor that funny. Because he was dying in the movie, and I did not laugh.
It was funny. The whole movie was laughing.
You didn't even hear me laugh, did you?
I don't know. You were cold the whole time, so I don't really think I did. You had moments where you kind of like chuckled, but you don't like bust out laughing.
I didn't find it funny, and that's the problem I had with the first one. I was like, I felt they were trying to be funny, especially with Batista. What's his character name? Drax. I felt they were trying to be funny. I think a lot of the lower key moments where, yeah, they were trying to assert humor, but it was more organic. I laughed more at those. But overall, I think the movie's fine. Like, I think I would see it in theaters because I think visually is probably better in theaters than like at home. But it was a decent movie. It was okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, I know, guys, I just put my disclaimer out there. I'm absolutely pro Marvel, and this is not a bias talking, but it's a good movie.
I didn't say it was a bad movie.
No. I'm just saying from my perspective. Okay, let me just rephrase that. From my opinion, it's a really good movie. It's if you're looking for an adventure movie, and you're gonna okay, sure, the humor won't hit everyone, but it'll hit a lot of people, and odds are, if you roll those dice, it's also gonna hit you. So go ahead and give this movie a chance. Yes, Drax, sure.
He was trying too hard. Like, that's literally, he was always, especially that scene where he was just laughing loudly and then that wasn't funny to me. I just felt like they were trying to be funny. I like humor where, like, yeah, they're trying to be funny, but, like, you don't notice it as much. Here, I noticed that they were purposely, like, trying to make light of the situation. I always think Chris Pratt in this movie is funnier than Drax. But I felt like Drax was supposed to be the funnier one. But Chris Pratt and, let me call his name, Star-Lord and Baby Groot were like the fun.
And Rocket Raccoon too as well.
He was more
of an asshole.
He was more of an asshole.
He was a funny asshole.
He was okay. Him, I would say Baby Groot and Star-Lord were like the funniest parts of this movie for me. But I didn't find Drax funny because I was just, I don't know, that type of humor didn't work for me. Where it felt like he was trying too hard to be funny. And I never it's part of the reason I don't like Kevin Hart movies. Because I feel like he's trying to be funny instead of naturally being funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Drax as a character. You know, like when I think my favorite scene with him was when he was talking about his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, that's a really good scene. And I did laugh a little bit when he told Mantis she was ugly.
Yeah, she was hideous. And like he started like almost throwing up because of the sight of being with her physically. No,
not the bed scene. I'm talking about like when the same.
I know
scene
on the steps, right?
I didn't like the bed scene too. Like, 'cause, again, I felt like he was trying, but like when he was on the steps and he had more quieter moments, I liked him more than when I felt like they were trying to force me to laugh when his like bigger comedic moments. But it's not Batista's fault. It's just maybe it's the script. I didn't particularly like those things.
I mean, even if that's the case, I think he did a good job of what he was given regardless.
No, he didn't do anything wrong. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I understand.
But overall, it's okay movie. I wouldn't say it's a worse movie. I've seen worse Marvel movies, and this wasn't it. It worked.
I mean, as far as the MCU goes, like I know, like Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the movies. Like even as big as it is, it's still under the radar compared to all like the main Avengers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of
like
course.
even like Ant-Man, who's like also one of those under the radar.
See, that was a movie that
came out being like amazing, and I was like, holy crap. Like, I knew who Ant-Man was. I'm not going to turn into an Ant-Man podcast. But it's like, I knew who Ant-Man was. And, like, it's crazy how Marvel, like, not only marketed in a way, but like conveyed it on screen in a way that made everyone want more of him. And I don't know, I feel like people got that feeling from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I don't, I don't see this one doing as big of an impact as the first Guardians movie did. Probably because it's already established now. But as a second movie, it's still up there, just not as much. But, in my opinion, it's still worth going to check it out.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it's just not all that to me. Like, Ant-Man, to me, used to probably the funniest movie. And, like, even though, like, Paul Rudd, great comedic timing. And just in this movie, I felt like sometimes Bautista didn't have really good comedic timing. But it did work for his character, because I know his character is supposed to not really understand that he takes everything too literal and all that stuff. I get the point of his character. It just didn't work. But let's talk about, I guess, the story of the movie. Oh, by the way.
Spoilers!
Spoiler alert! My bad. I didn't put that in our last podcast with Snatch, so my bad on that. Also, check that out. But
shameless plug.
Yeah, plugging our own stuff, But yes, we're gonna have some spoilers in there, so you're warned. You continue, you're just gonna find out things.
You know what you're getting yourselves into.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about, first of all, Star-Lord's dad. I guess it was kind of like two stories going on. One was like with the Sovereigns, because Rocket was a dumbass and decided to steal from them and pissed them off. So they were running from the Sovereigns one part, while also dealing with the fact that Star-Lord's dad is back in the picture, and he cray. And he's what is it? What they call Star-Lord? Starts with an S. I can't remember the exact name. He's kind of godlike, but he's not. And they gave him a name.
Celestial.
Yes. Is it?
Yeah, Celestial's with a C, yeah.
Okay, whatever.
English 101. You just learned something.
Hey.
We're having a text next week. Be prepared.
Spell it.
Celestial. Google it.
I bet it ain't there. No, right. It's probably there. It's probably there. Fine, Celestial.
Yeah, he's a Celestial apparently. Go ahead.
Half human. And I love all their scenes with the dad. Like, when it was just Star-Lord and the dad, I thought that was probably the highlight of the movie for me. I liked their interactions. I liked when his dad, Ego, which, considering he built their own planet and impregnated all these people.
All these races on top of that, right?
Yeah. And his name fits who he is.
Yeah, essentially. Really much like, yeah.
He just an asshole. But I like that his interaction, and then when he revealed that he was so concerned about being most powerful, he loved himself more than Star-Lord's mom. So he took her out.
Yeah.
I was ready for him to die once he did that. I was like, you gave her cancer because you loved her too much and she would distract you. Like,
yeah. He was like, his master plan was to have the universe in the image of himself or something like that. So he spread himself across the universe with the intent of one day sending a signal to all these seeds he's planted on all these planets to engulf everything and become him somehow. I don't know.
Like his planet. Like his planet was
like his planet, but just, man, that was a weird thing.
Now, can he come back? Because
they said he killed him. They hit the core.
Yeah, I mean, they killed him, but he planted seeds on all of the planets. So can he not get reborn?
I don't know. I don't think they went that deep into it, because they said only the core is his himself. I think I'm not even going to go into it. I'm actually really not sure. If anyone knows, actually educate me on this. I'm actually really not sure. I mean,
because his seed is everywhere, so I'm assuming you can't be reborn, because I've seen that in a couple comic movies and stuff, kind of like Brainiac. If you even leave one part of him alive,
he can regenerate himself and all that.
So I don't know. I'm more of a DC person, so I don't really know a lot about Ego. I don't even know if his origin in this movie is correct.
Yeah, this is my first time hearing of him, because I
don't even know
different origin, to be honest. But who knows? But yeah, moving on with that though.
We could talk about Rocket. I think Rocket had a good character development in this movie. Even though I thought he started having one in the last movie, because I recently rewatched it. Because, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Guardians of the Galaxy as a whole anyway. But I rewatched the first one because I kind of forgot what happened. And I didn't want to walk in the second one not remembering who people were.
Mm-hmm.
So I rewatched the first one. And Rocket had this moment where he was flipping out because he didn't like people calling him a raccoon and blah, blah, blah. And I thought he was kind of past that point. And then he kind of reverted back a little bit in the beginning of the movie. Still having the same problems. But I think he got better towards the end. Now I hope they don't keep reverting him just so he can relearn the same lesson again.
Yeah. I think this time more so got prodded on, though, by Star-Lord because, they had their things going on with their egos. Their egos.
They almost killed each other.
There's a scene in this movie where, like, hey, either of you guys can do this, but they were so intent on, like, one-upping each other that they almost get everyone killed, essentially.
Yeah.
So, that was definitely a thing. And the movie started fast. Like, one thing I want to get into is, like, how the movie started. Like, there was, like, a flashback to how Ego met, Star-Lord's mom.
I actually liked that scene.
I think that was really sweet, actually. That was,
I mean, he turned into an ass, but it was actually really sweet. And you could tell that he actually liked Star-Lord's mom.
Mm-hmm. That was legit love, right?
Yeah. But, he's about himself, so.
Yeah. But yeah, the intro scene when, like, you see, like, Baby Groot dancing with inside of all this chaos while there's, like, some kind of interdimensional octopus thing coming out of the sky.
Was. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked ugly, but in theaters it actually looked pretty cool. I'd imagine in 3D it probably looks pretty cool too, because but it's a freaky looking thing, and you see Drax there.
You don't even see the fight really until Drax crushes the speaker.
Right.
You don't even see the fight for a while because all you see is Baby Groot just dancing. I forgot what the song he was dancing to.
He's one of the listen, man. They completely went on the other side of the spectrum with Groot in this movie. Like, before, he was like a big, burly, old tree monster thingy. And now he's just so tiny and freaking adorable. Everything he does is cute in this movie. Even when he gets... I mean, I'm not going to jump around here, but like, he gets picked on later in the movie. He cries in the movie. He gets angry. Everything he does is essentially targeted to, like, pull on heartstrings. And I don't know, a lot of it worked, even though I know they were trying for this one. Like, I don't really feel like they were trying for comedy, but I do feel like they were trying hella hard for cuteness with Groot, because every shot had his eyes pretty much enlarged like a mofo. So
I mean, he has big eyes on a little head. So
essentially, and they I don't know, man. Vin Diesel sounds very harmless being Baby Groot. I'll give him that much.
I am Groot.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
It's kind of also funny that they're learning to understand what his I am Groot means. It's kind of like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, Pikachu just says, I don't even know if Pikachu's a boy or not, his name in different tones, and then they understand him.
Yep.
That's basically what Groot is.
Pokemon logic, yep.
Pikachu.
And it's okay. I mean, essentially, Rocket isn't the only one who knows how to...
No, Star-Lord learned a little bit. Drax does. I don't know about Gamora, because we never see her talk. I know that Groot likes her. Like, Baby Groot likes her, but I don't know if she understands Groot.
Right. I don't know. Like, yeah, they really didn't really have the interaction with Groot and everyone else too much outside of maybe Rocket, Drax on some occasions, and Star-Lord on some occasions. Like, Gamora, maybe he was there for like a shoulder ride with her, pretty much. And Drax is also pretty minimal, to be honest, too. Just like, there's a couple times where they interact and Groot wants to beat him up. But it looks cute, but it's very minimal.
Well, because Drax is always, like, insulting him. And, like, Gamora, I think they have a good relationship, because when she was leaving with Star-Lord and Drax for Ego's planet, she said goodbye to Groot, and he was crying.
Yeah. I don't know if it was close to with everyone or just her specifically, but I saw what you're saying, though. But yeah.
See.
So yeah, there's also another thing going on with the Ravagers. Let's get into the Ravagers and the Sovereigns here. Like, there's like two factions outside of Ego that kind of like have some kind of interactions.
I mean, they're all connected. The only reason the Ravagers got involved because the Sovereigns hired the Ravagers. Because again, Rocket stealing shit just to steal shit took something from them, and they had to get it back. They went ham. They're smart but lazy at the same time. Yeah. They're like, we don't go into battle, we just send things into battle for us. And we play it like video games.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it's the safest way. And like, they're big on clearly having funds to do so. And let's actually like rewind just a little bit just so give some context here. But what happened is Rocket for some reason decides it would be a good idea to steal from them after they were hired to kill that interdimensional monster I was just talking about. So this movie really only happened the way it did because of this one incident. Actually, now think about it. If Rocket didn't do that, like the Ravagers wouldn't be involved.
Yeah,
Sovereigns wouldn't be involved.
But you still have ego.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, yeah, I agree with that. But like, I'm talking about everything outside of that. Like, you know, it would shave off about a good hour of the movie if that didn't happen.
Yeah, this movie was probably about 2 hours.
Yeah, it probably ran 2 hours and change, I believe. I'm not gonna lie. Like, outside the moments where it was funny and there's some action scenes, you started to realize, holy shit, it might be 2 hours now.
I don't know. The movie, there were points where I was just like not into it, and that's where I started to notice like it was slow. Like, I think when they, like, first ride on Ego, which, but is that what his planet is called?
His planet is actually called Ego, right?
Alright, well, Planet Ego, the visuals, beautiful. Especially when they stepped into, like, the main room.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually really pretty. But I felt the slowness around that part. And even the scenes where, like, Rocket was, like, taking on the Ravagers, I was like, this kind of feels a little slow. It wasn't until after that scene, and like when Nebula shot Yondu thing off, that's when the movie for me wasn't slow after that part.
You see, here's why I only thought it was slow. I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning when we opened up, but I felt it was slow only because the movie, if you have any kind of sex, if you like watch a whole bunch of movies in the past, the storyline here isn't completely brand new. Like, it was predictable for me, and that's why the movie felt long, because I knew what was going to happen next. I just wanted to see how it was going to progress.
I mean, but all comic books like that. You know they win.
Well, yeah, I know. No, it's not that part. I'm talking about like how like, you know, the father's back because of something that he's probably going to betray them about later on in the story. Like, hey, I haven't met my dad before. This is my dad. Oh my god, my dad is super cool. There's clearly nothing wrong with him.
Well, I don't think they were trying to say that there was nothing wrong because they had Gamora say that scene. Like,
well, yeah.
But we didn't know his reason. I think the shock was supposed to be what he was doing.
Yeah.
Not really like he was evil. I don't think anyone trusts him because even Star-Lord was side-eyeing him.
Yeah. He fell for it a little bit until, you know, he started getting some exposition on it.
Well, yeah, because he told the truth.
Right, yeah.
Ego was too honest.
Yeah.
That's really what led to his downfall.
Yeah.
He thought his son had the same type of cockiness that he did. So he was like, all right. But first of all, can we talk about the fact that he killed all his children?
Yeah, he killed a lot of people.
So, what's wrong with his DNA that only one child got the...
Essentially, he's looking for like a genetic marker or something like that. That showed that there's this light in them that they can, you know, harness.
What is his gene like? Is his gene, how you say, like redheads? You know, like
something like that, right? Yes.
Like it skipped 5 generations or something like that.
It must have skipped like 5,000 because there are a lot of dead babies.
Like, is the light recessive? I don't know. It's kind of weird that only one out of like looks like 100 because he had a whole fucking wall.
Yeah.
He was putting in work, but he said he was been alive for thousands of years,
millions if anything. Yeah.
So he was putting in work. So basically, he found humanity and was like, nah, this is wet. Everything gotta be like me.
Right, essentially, because he essentially considers himself perfection, and he wants everything to be perfect. And I don't know, he has this real problem with things that are temporary, quote unquote, mortals. And because his son clearly could also be like him, he said a celestial can't really complete his plan by itself. It needs one more celestial to completely have the power to do it.
He went all over the galaxy and put himself there. That's why I think he's gonna be reborn. I know, like, we'll get into the end. Well, you know what we should do at the end? Do predictions for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure, I'm with that, because actually in the end credit scene, we'll go to the end. Never mind, you're right. Yeah, I'm jumping all the
Let's talk about each characters. Let's get into, we talked about Rocket already. What about Gamora and Nebula? Let's tackle them at the same time.
Yeah, see, I like Gamora on both things that she was playing on in this movie. Like, one, she's playing on like this little unspoken quote-unquote love story with Star-Lord, and like there's this whole thing with Nebula, which I'm glad Nebula was in this movie. Like, she's, as much as she had like a smaller part in the movie, holy shit, she's a badass.
She was a badass in the first one.
Yeah, I mean, man, this girl was...
She been through some things, though. Her father dogged her wrong.
Yeah, Thanos is an asshole. Yeah, because we find out that, essentially all her robot parts came from her losing. But the problem is, the more robot parts she had, the more she lost anyway, so it didn't really matter to her sister, apparently. So, I don't know.
So, basically, if Nebula would have won, Gamora would have all these robot parts.
Essentially, Nebula never won.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad. And I don't know. As far as Gamora goes, like her story and interaction with her, I'm gonna just lump them both together.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It was pretty cool, cause especially at the end when like they had their fight. I thought when she came in down onto Planet Ego with a spaceship, it was hella cool because essentially
the part that actually kind of was funny, which I don't think it was supposed to be funny, was when she took the spaceship and chased her through the cave. I was like, this is so stupid. It's not gonna work. But I actually found that part a little bit funny.
I don't know, man. These girls got balls. Like, listen, she was essentially essentially in YOLO mode at that point. Like, I'm gonna kill you, potentially killing me, but you're still gonna die, and that's my goal here.
And she couldn't kill her, but she talked a lot of shit, but she actually couldn't kill her sister, and then she couldn't because she had the knife ready to do it, and she couldn't do it.
Yeah, and essentially that came after Gamora saved her life as well. So like I'm glad that there's actually like a decent amount of character development going on here outside of just the main characters, which I really like in movies that have groups in them.
Yeah, I think everyone got character development in this movie. Besides maybe even Baby Groot. I don't know.
I don't know. Baby Groot was just the only character development Groot got was in the end credit scene, which we'll talk about later. That's my opinion, though.
Oh, because he's moody, but moody teenager.
And Drax only so much because of all the other character. Mantis is the only reason I see him having character development a little bit.
Yeah, at least something happened.
Right.
He did something.
He wasn't by the wayside, right?
Everyone had moments in this movie, and I think that what made it great.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the best thing I would give this movie is that the character interactions with each other was really good.
Yeah, definitely.
And that each character had a little bit of character development. And I think the best character development, I guess, is learning why Yandu didn't actually take Star-Lord back. Because he knew about ego and was like, one, he broke the code by taking a child.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently multiple children.
Yeah.
And then when he figured out what was wrong, he decided, you know what, I'm not going to take this kid there. And he was actually Peter's father in a weird way. And they kind of hinted that Peter's real dad was Yandu and not Ego.
Right. Which is weird because it came out right before Mother's Day, and this happens. But it's alright. It was a sweet thing because I thought these two badasses here are actually having a sweet moment and shit, and it pulled me in. It didn't feel like it was this definitely was a moment that didn't feel forced to me, but
no, yeah,
I liked it.
Yandu and Lord, I forgot the name, Star-Lord. Their scenes were probably top interactions. Even though I didn't, like I said, Drax, I didn't find him particularly all that funny, but his scenes with Mantis, some of the scenes with Mantis, I really did like.
Yeah, I know they really milked it for the trailers, which, when you see the movie again, it's the hype behind the comedy there is a little dissipated, but it wasn't the only interaction they had, and that was kind of cool. And, Mantis was also an interesting addition herself, but, she wasn't there for too much purpose other than knowing what Ego's plan was and then relaying it to the Guardians.
Yeah, excuse the sounds in the background.
Or as I call them, the Space Avengers. But yeah.
Do they, we'll get into that later. I guess we're gonna also talk about the Ravengers. I like that we got a history of the Ravengers a little bit here. Talked about their code. Yandu talked about how he became a Ravenger. I thought that was pretty cool. And
one guy I want to talk about is Taserface.
Stupid name. Doesn't even sound.
Rocket. Oh my God, Rocket did a good job explaining how I felt about this guy's name. Because at first I thought he said Laserface, and I was like, okay, you're definitely trying to sound stupid. And Taserface was just like, okay, you're not even making an effort at this point. Rocket went in on his ass.
Like I'm pretty much okay with that character. Spoiler, being dead, but. Taserface, that whole scene, I was just like, mutiny's coming. From the moment he started talking shit in the background, I was like, a mutiny's coming. Another thing I didn't know that thing on Yandu's head wasn't attached to him.
Yeah, same.
I thought that was actually his
head.
No, that's like a computer part.
Oh well, yeah, I knew, but I just thought it was part of his head still. I just figured that if it's gone, something bad was gonna happen. And no, he got shot right in the damn thing, and lived. He has replacements like we saw, the Mohawk looking one, or the Finn that Groot had a hard time finding. Yeah,
so I was just like, oh, that scene. Actually, I thought the scene with Groot trying to find the stuff was a little bit more funny. A little bit.
Yeah, I found that funny. Yeah, it's essentially talking to an idiot, telling them and giving them instructions, and they keep screwing it up somehow. And hell, the only reason even got that scene completed was because I'm forgetting the one dude's name. The one guy who actually sided with Yondu after the mutiny.
That white guy. I don't remember his name.
Oh yeah, damn it. His name doesn't pop up too much.
They didn't say his name the whole entire movie.
I'm pretty sure they did, but I'm pretty sure I'm just not remembering because I know now he's actually a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now that he has Yondu's or inherited Yondu's weapons with the arrow and shit. So
I wish I could whistle. I would control that.
You can't whistle. I'll keep forgetting that.
No, it's bad. If I whistle now,
or roll your R's.
No.
That was her trying. If you didn't catch it, you can't really see it, but that's literally her trying and still trying. But yeah, that was a thing. I don't know if Mantis is actually a part of the group now because she's there. Like I don't think she particularly has a useful power other than putting people to sleep.
Well, if she learns how to fight, she'll be alright.
Yeah, but she doesn't strike me as a fighter though. I don't know. Who knows? There could be a character development change in the future because I did tease another Guardians of the Galaxy coming out again, so who knows?
Yeah, they're doing Volume 3. Did we miss any characters? I mean, Yandu.
Did we go in on? Well, yeah, we did. We did a decent amount of Yandu.
I mean, going to Yandu, we did talk about him a little bit, but he had a lot of character development. Because I remember I didn't care about him in the first movie. I was like, okay, you here. But I did again, like I mentioned earlier, we found out why he kept Star-Lord. We found out that he always saw himself as Star-Lord's dad, which I thought was pretty cool.
We found out that he's still wanting to be a Ravager, even though that they're essentially kicking him out of the group for doing that whole thing he did with the children. Like the guy's actually a good guy outside of all the crazy shit he did before.
He's just a thief.
Essentially, yeah. Like, I thought
he was a good guy.
Sylvester Stallone was in there saying, essentially we're exiling you out of the Ravagers because you broke honor code. So it's like one of them things was like, a band of thieves type thing where you got to have honor among thieves.
Yeah.
And apparently, essentially, he broke his honor, so it was kind of cool to see Sylvester Stallone in the Marvel movie too. So that's.
Yeah, I didn't.
He was at this very small part that wasn't like super, big. But
apparently, it's important because he was in one of those end credit scenes.
Right. Yeah. No, if anyone can explain that, we'll get to it anyway. But yeah, it's. I don't know. I just liked it. I really liked it.
Okay. Well, how about we just get into the predictions of Volume 3 and talk about the end credit scenes?
Well, okay.
Unless you.
So, I mean, there's only one. I just want to say that I thought the Easter eggs in this movie are littered everywhere. Keep your eyes open for them.
Okay. Again, I'm more of a DC person, so I probably missed some of the Easter eggs. It probably went over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Except, obviously, for the big Easter eggs with the end credits. But let's talk about Sylvester Stallone and his end credit scene. What the hell was that about?
Yeah, apparently it's some... Oh, man, I wish I knew what it was. Because apparently it might just be one of those another obscure heroes groups in comic book universes that people never really hear of. Like how DC has the book you gave me.
What?
The Justice League Dark.
Yeah. Those
are some more obscure named heroes, even though there's some big names within them. Most of the names are very obscure.
Yeah.
But I feel like this group right here that Sylvester Stallone was in was one of those groups that's like by the wayside, like Avengers, not Avengers, like Guardians of the Galaxy kind of was before the movie came out and put them back on the map,
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was cool, and I'm interested to see what that's all about.
And then of course the big one, hint of Adam Warlock.
Yep, there's a hint of Adam Warlock coming on the scene, and essentially, if Marvel wants to move forward with any kind of comic book accuracy to what they had originally in their Infinity War story, they need Adam Warlock. He's essentially a big cogwheel in how the story is supposed to progress.
But Infinity War comes out before, at least the first part, I think, comes out before Volume 3. So he won't be in. He might be mentioned, but he won't be in there.
Well, I'm saying because Guardians of the Galaxy will be in Infinity War.
Yes.
So that's the reason I'm bringing it up. So I figured, at some point there's going to be some interaction.
Maybe in part 2, because I don't know when part 2 comes out. But I know he won't be in part 1.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's something to look forward to, regardless.
Yeah, of course.
We'll be seeing a lot happening there. As far as other predictions, I don't know. I feel like the characters of the actual group for the Guardians of the Galaxy might change even more. Like they just added essentially 2 characters: the guy who's working with Yondu and Mantis, and potentially Nebula.
I was thinking. I wasn't sure because the way they posed at the end, it looked like Nebula was in there.
Yeah, but Nebula left to go kill Thanos or something like that.
Shame.
By herself, and that's clearly a horrible idea.
I think she's gonna get stronger first and then try to go after him.
Yep.
Because that's what she was planning on. I think that's what her goal is going to be. She's like, I'm overkilling you. You're not the one who destroyed my body like this.
Right.
So I'm going to get stronger.
Especially since I just bonded with you now. Like, now we're cool, right, sis? Okay, sis, love you. Mwah. Okay, see you when you try to kill Dad.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so I was like, that's a possible thing. And I don't know, man, I can't stress enough how cool Nebula was in this movie, too. Like, I know her action scenes really, were at the peak, either at the end of the movie where she tried to blow up the planet or when she was fighting Gamora. But man, they put her to justice. As far as it's like having a bench team in basketball, where your bench guys are coming in and actually putting on the scoreboard. They did a really good. She did a really good job of what she was. I'll give it that much.
Yeah, anytime she came on, she stole the scene.
Most certainly.
Okay. Anything else? Actually, no. For Volume 3, I'm gonna actually give a prediction. One, I do think they're gonna make Adam Warlock the villain of Volume 3. I think he's gonna pop out his little weird ass cocoon thing and be the villain. Now, allegedly, he does become a member.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he will. I think maybe they should save him becoming an actual member to like the fourth one. Kind of like what they did with Nebula. Like she might be a member, like an ally, based off the second one.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think he should turn over so quick in the third one. I think he should like maybe eventually go off and do his own thing and then come back in the fourth and be. Or they need to have two villains. It starts off as him and then it switches to someone else. If they do that.
That's something I could see happening instead. That second theory, because I know he's essentially one. He does have a stint as a antagonist that everyone has to pretty much deal with. So that's pretty popular. I mean, it's a very popular theory as well too. But I kind of like that if they do change it around. That Marvel is one of those studios that when they do change things around, they're not changing it for the worse. They're not making like a reboot that makes things shitty. So who knows? They might actually do something pretty good with it.
I don't know. Say that to all them Hulk movies.
Okay, fine. Hulk movies. I mean, no one's perfect.
Amazing Spider-Man.
I like the Amazing Spider-Man.
No one else did.
Good for no one else. Good for no one else.
That's why Andrew Garfield got fired, but now he's an Oscar-nominated actor. So good job, Andrew Garfield. Give it to Tom Holland, who's the little kid from Impossible.
Yeah, there's that.
That's a good movie. That's my recommendation. If you want to watch a movie, watch Impossible. I think that's a really good movie, but it's not really uplifting. Oh, maybe the end. They survived. They got through it. Pretty dark movie.
It's one of those things where you want the destination a lot more than you want the journey because they went through a lot of shit.
Yeah, especially I've ever seen. But off the tangent. Recommendation right there. And like I said, I did enjoy the movie. Obviously, a lot of the humor didn't go with me. What made me enjoy the movie was the action sequences. Not really the jokes. The humor didn't work for me, but it obviously worked for Michael because he was cracking up in that theater.
There was a healthy balance for it. The only time I thought it was not a healthy balance was they inserted jokes in a lot of places where like it could have been taken a little bit more seriously. Like I don't know, this movie clearly did not go the route of like taking itself super seriously.
No,
like this is literally one of those examples of like Marvel versus DC where they say Marvel is super lighthearted. Even in an action-heavy movie like this, you can tell it's hella lighthearted with things like Groot and a tiny raccoon with guns and all the humor over the place.
No offense, I can't see Guardians of the Galaxy ever being serious with Rocket and Groot on the team.
I mean, it could have if they took that direction, they could have. But like,
no,
they know what works. I mean, listen, there's two different studios doing two different things.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, if we take out DC studios,
yeah,
take out the DCEU with a talking raccoon and a talking tree that dances. I'm never going to take them seriously like that.
They don't have to. I mean, they could always rebrand characters and rebrand stories. Like different writers write different ways.
I know, but besides, you can't write that too seriously.
Also, you gotta understand too. In the comic books, they're not this funny. I mean, they're funny still, but like they're not like dancing to music all over the place, kind of funny. Rocket and Groot are still funny, but like it's not like as funny as this movie is. This movie just took it to another notch because like.
I mean, yeah, because in real life that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to walk a very thin line between like funny and too funny. I mean, like, or trying too hard to be funny, which you found it to be. I agree that certain people will find it that way. Me, I liked it. I'm a cartoony guy. I'm young at heart, and I'm okay with all the jokes in there. Like and other people in the theater found it funny, and I'm sure other people didn't. So check it out and find out for yourself whether it's not. Like, if you like the first movie, you'll like this movie. I'll give you that much.
I like the second half more than the first half. And it was an okay movie. Like, I say it's, to be honest, I really think you can just wait till the DVD. But, seeing the movie is up to you guys. What else?
End credits. You get through all of it?
Allegedly, there's 5 scenes. Now, I'm trying to break that down because I see online that there's 5. And we did Adam Warlock. We did the one with Sylvester Stallone. We talked about Teenage Groot, which was so freaking weird. And what were the other 2? Does the one where you call them the Watchers, which I don't know who the Watchers are, does that count as the end credit scene?
See, it's because Stan Lee is in it, which is why I don't want to take it too seriously. Because I feel like for an Infinity War story, you kind of need the Watchers. Like, they're essentially guys who watch over the universe. Like, they're all-knowing beings and know everything. And like, they have stories outside the Infinity War too, where they're also still big deals. But as far as what they could do with them in the story, as far as the Infinity War goes, like, this end credit scene didn't really do anything to show how they can possibly connect it. Because like, Stan Lee's on the moon talking to them.
Well, yes, I understand that, but the scene with like Teenage Baby Groot, I think it was just like an after credit scene to be funny. Like, they had some relevance.
Just to show that Groot wasn't going to be a baby forever, pretty much.
Yeah, and maybe that scene was just to show the Watchers, even though, again.
Yeah, maybe just like a quick introduction to them, like, hey, they're here.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what could the 5th one be that came later.
I don't know. We can't believe everything we hear on the internet, so we can't really even take it at face value, really.
Yeah. I would have to like look at the list and see what they were talking about with the 5, and we probably missed one, or we didn't count as an end credit scene.
Maybe.
But I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we hit all the bases here. I mean, just keep your eyes open for the Easter eggs, which I know you don't really know much about, but I'll just jump into it real quick and make it fast.
Yeah.
But essentially, there's Howard Duck there. If anyone knows who Howard Duck is, he's been a Marvel character for like a long time, maybe the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
He's essentially like a detective who I don't know how the hell he got into space, but he looks a little creepy. I remember him looking a lot more cartoony, but like in the movie, he looks like very rugged Duck in a bar just talking to people.
Yeah.
There was that going on, and oh man, one more I'm missing. Marvel movies do a pretty good job of like laying around Easter eggs. Actually, all comic book movies do that, because even DC have things hidden all over the place, especially like Batman movies, because it's like so relatable and so popular now. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to throw out there. I just thought that Howard the Duck is in the movie. He has a line. So
yeah, and this movie's gonna make a lot of money because it can be marketed to children.
Oh yeah, there'll be toys and everything everywhere. So
yeah, and
Marvel knows what they're doing.
Yeah, Marvel is owned by Disney, and I think that's also part of why it's really popular. Because if you read, like, going back to DC, if you read a DC comic, it's not children friendly. Even like the Batman trilogy wasn't really children friendly sometimes.
Well, yeah.
But, sometimes it wasn't. They don't have as many lighthearted stories. I mean, even if, let's say they did Jason Todd, that is not a lighthearted story at all.
No, you can't say Jason Todd and think lighthearted at all, so... You know how that story starts and ends. So.
Exactly. Some of the Flash's stories are not even lighthearted. So, it's kind of, I think, depending on, maybe if they do, like, obscure characters, they'll be able to bring more lightheartedness, but they can't really do it with, like, Superman.
The more well-known ones, right?
Yeah, because they all have, like, maybe Wonder Woman, because I don't know a lot about Wonder Woman, but... She has a whole... She
could, but she's been more of a badass. Though. Like, I don't want her to be lighthearted only because like I feel like DC has been doing a great job with like female heroes. Well, not female heroes, but female characters, should I say? Like Black Canary, Wonder Woman. Like they're been badass. They're not like the prissy ones. Like I'll say lighthearted as far as like Supergirl goes. Like
That's
I feel like that's too far off the spectrum from what DC is. Even though it's doing a good job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on nothing like that. But like. I like the badass females. Cause like I feel like movies and TV.
Yeah, Marvel only has, at least mainstream, they have Black Widow, and now DC only has Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Captain Marvel, right? Eventually.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have the female Captain Marvel now, which I think was rebranded like a couple years ago in the comic books. Carol Danvers.
Pepper's gone. Thor's girlfriend's gone.
The Sony Marvel has more female heroes to work with because they have X-Men, which
Yeah.
So I guess there's that going for them, but
but I'm talking about
to X-Men. Not Disney Marvel. Disney Marvel essentially tries to water it down a little bit. But yeah.
Well, because they want to sell toys.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That's why their movies are more lighthearted, because they got to get kids to see that, and they don't. They did face a lot of backlash for Deadpool. Even though I still say it's the parents' fault. That movie is rated R. The trailers weren't anything to tell your children to see that, and they had the nerve to bring their children there. That was just wrong.
Speaking of kids, a special fuck you to whoever those kids were in the theater that we saw, that we had to deal with today. Like, there was a squeaky chair in this fucking theater, and this kid, for some reason, thought this was the best toy in the world, and for 2 hours straight. 2 hours straight! Oh my god, I may be an X-Men. I have a superhuman ability to have a ridiculous amount of patience. I tried so hard not to go down there and chokeslam this kid into concrete.
I know. I had to tell him, calm down.
You know that if when you go on an airplane and that there's that kid kicking your seat the whole ride. I mean, okay, you haven't been on an airplane, but
I have.
Well, you haven't dealt with a kid though kicking your seat the whole time. If anyone's relating to that, it's essentially that kid with a squeaky seat and just can't sit the fuck still. So I'm just glad the movie was loud enough to drown out a lot of the noise at first. Because like when the movie started, it's like,
yeah, when it got slow though, you can hear that seat.
Yeah, they were consistent about it. So yeah, there's a special seat in the deep dark corner of hell for you, kid. And I'm sorry that you had to go there because of your squeaky seat. Anyways, on that note, I think we've hit everything. Go ahead, Shanique.
Okay.
Always try to end the podcast on a positive note.
There was nothing positive about that, but okay. So I'm gonna do the outro, guys. Please leave some comments. We want to know what you think. If you have any ideas of what albums or movies or even TV shows you want us to review, leave comments. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow us. We're on multiple platforms. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
See ya.
Bye.